What is Energy and the Goddess Effect by Mandy Morris and Sass Tetzler. In order to understand the work you're embarking on, it's important you grasp these 5 fundamental principles about energy. Number 1, everything is energy, and energy is all there is. Number 2, it cannot be destroyed, but it can be transformed.
Absolutely.
Energy can only ever be in one of 3 states. So it can either be in flow, in resistance, or in reversal. Number 4, you can be in flow on one topic and out of flow on another. Number 5, everybody has the ability to connect with and work with their energy, because we used to do this all the time. We've just forgotten how. Okay, so in all the work we do, we are looking for areas in our life where our energy is not in flow, so we can transform it by healing or cleaning out the resistances or reversals, negative energy charges. It is that simple. Obviously, in the practice, it becomes a little bit more complicated, but literally, that is all there is to energy. You're looking for the bits that are not in flow, and you're transforming them. So in our evolution and growth journey, remembering how to work with your energy is the what, and the Goddess Effect is the how. And we have this lovely graphic there on energy, which Mandy is now going to explain a little bit more to you.
Yeah, so at any one time, like Sass just said, in any area of our life, we can be in one of 3 states. So the best way to be is in flow, which is the green. Everything is happening for you, with you, as you. Every part is fitting together, and everything is just falling into place really, really easily. And this is called in flow. And when it starts to get a bit sticky, where you've got a little bit of a roadblock and it feels like you got your foot on the throttle, you got your foot on the brake at the same time, or maybe someone's pulling you back a little bit, this can be resistance. And that can be, again, you can be in resistance in, say, for instance, your love life, but your money, it's flowing in like you wouldn't believe, and your business is booming, but you may have sticky part of your relationship. And then the real heavy stuff is when you're in a reversal. So your energy that's around you, it's like a ball of energy around you. You may have been impacted by something that has caused your energy to go backwards. So it's almost like you're being pulled right backwards and you can't go forward at all. And this is creating real problems, possibly in an area of your life. And all of these 3 energy states can be transformed. You can even be more and more and more in flow.
And that is literally all there is about energy. Just know that if you're not in flow, you're going to be either in resistance or reversal. There isn't anything else. So how do I know if I'm out of flow? And luckily, we have some handy internal guidance systems. Firstly, there is our emotions. If we feel unhappy, in fear, upset, or anxious, it's safe to say we're out of flow on that topic. So just think about that. If you're not happy tickety-boo, bouncing along, being all happy about things, then you're going to be out of flow on things. And our emotions will tell us. And this is why it's important to listen to our emotions and learn to hear what they are telling us. So your emotions might tell you that, feeling a bit funny about that. That means you're in resistance, but it's nothing major. But if you are in a fear state where you've activated that fight or flight mode, where everything has gone away from your internal organs and your brain to your feet and your hands, so you can run away from whatever it is or fight whatever it is, you're not making clear decisions. And also your organs that support you are not getting the food they need from blood, because the blood is all in the wrong place. It's in your feet. So you need to start paying attention to your emotions, because they will tell you when you're out of flow. Okay. And our intuition is another one. And unfortunately, we have been conditioned right from the get-go, right from birth, not to pay attention to our intuition. However, a happy byproduct of energy work is that it becomes stronger and more active. Yay! So, quite without actually trying to consciously do anything, just by doing some energy work in whatever way, your intuition does get a workout and it becomes more active. And then there is our body's biofeedback, where we connect with our energy and ask it some questions to get a yes or no answer. Now, this method is known by various names: the sway, body pendulum, biofeedback, as I've mentioned. Whatever name you give it, it's the same thing. And using this method can be incredibly powerful in helping us to go really deep, really fast, and reveal things that are hidden or obscured in our current life experience. So, Mandy, you and I both know this body biofeedback thing, that the pendulum or the sway, and we use it all the time, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. All my decisions are based on my sway.
Yeah.
Because it connects us to our higher selves, which I know later on you're going to talk about. But you know, the field of energy around us, you might call it God, you might call it source, you might call it the universe. That's our connection.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is all part of how we start to remember, how do we work with our energy? Our energy is part of us. So why wouldn't our body talk to us in some way? You know, we've got the emotions, that is, you know, our energy talking to us, saying, hey, you know, stop, wait, pay attention, hello, you know. And another thing is when our body starts to act up, when we start to have dis-ease, little niggles, little pains, if you stop paying attention to them, or don't pay any attention at all, it will get bigger. It won't get better on its own. And I'm not saying you rush to the doctor. I'm saying,
isn't it?
Yeah,
they get trapped, don't they?
Yeah, pay attention. Your body is talking to you all the time, either, you know, in your heart, in your emotions, or through the little niggles and aches and pains. So now that we know how we are out of flow, these tools that I've just mentioned are how we gather the information on what to work on. But they are just the first step. So identifying it all is great. Doing the work on the energy blockages, negative charges, whatever you want to call them, doing the work takes some big guns. And that's why we developed the goddess effect that also works on gods, you know. But the way Mandy and I work, we work with women in particular, and we've got a special mission for that. So we've taken all our qualifications, experience, skills, intuition, knowledge, and wisdom, and we've poured it into this modality that we know brings results fast.
Yeah, so things are speeding up.
They are. So meet the team. This is who we are. Mandy, do you want to tell the folks at home a little bit about yourself?
Yes, of course. Well, I'll tell you what I was. I was a school teacher for over 25 years, but I reached a point in my life where I had the houses, the cars, everything. You know, I'd manifested that stuff, but I wasn't happy in here. And I was searching and searching and searching for that connection. And that meant more to me than having money or houses or cars or anything, because I was lost. I was literally lost. So I went on a search. I became very depressed. I almost stepped off this mortal coil, and I'm glad I didn't, because I have a mission. And I clambered my way back, but it took me nearly 20 years to find my way back to me. And what I'm really excited about is, with all the A to Z of the tools and the techniques and the modalities and all the qualifications I've done, I found me. And working with SAS, us both working together, means we can get you there faster. It does not need to take 20 years. We can do it in 20 minutes. Absolutely. Some bit.
Yeah. And that's the thing I want to really get across here, is how quick when we remember
Yeah.
to really tap in and access our energy and work on it, how fast the results can come, how quickly you start to see the shifts. And it almost becomes addictive, because the way you feel when you start doing the energy work is so transformational.
Oh, yeah.
Because we are literally transforming energy. You are transformed. You become a different person, because we are, let's face it, mucking around with your subatomic particles to change that energy. So on the surface, you might look like the same person, but on the underneath bit, right down at the energetic level, you are different. You are vibrating differently. And that does bring about an effect, doesn't it? The goddess.
And it's that connection as well, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. From my point of view, very similar to Mandy. I found myself in a very dark place when, I had on paper all the little tick boxes. Phenomenally successful business, lovely family, kids, and the lifestyle that I'd always dreamt of. And I was living the dream, only my actual life was a nightmare, because I didn't realize at the time, but I was being abused and manipulated by my mom in such a way that absolutely destroyed me, to the point where, stepping off the mortal coil was appealing in so many ways, because it would just stop the pain. And I didn't know what else to do. And, I went down the route of seeing doctors and therapists and pills, etc., etc. But all that was doing was just going round in circles. The therapy, I was just reliving it over and over again, that pain. And my life was a mess, an absolute mess. You remember the graphic with the red arrow with the train wreck? My life was emotionally a train wreck. On the surface, like you say, Mandy, all the trappings, people wanted to be me, and I'm thinking, no, you effing don't. You don't want to be.
I have to say, you've added some bits in, and I have to say, it's almost like a mirror. What you're saying is how I was too. I was on tablets and nothing was working. My emotions were all over the place. And the mother thing as well. Probably not to the extent of your mother, but I felt worthless inside.
And that's basically what it is, isn't
it? Yeah, and you end up you've got to please people all the time, because that was the trauma response. I've got to please people because I can't cope with the backlash, basically.
And mine was constantly seeking that approval. And people sort of say, when they hear my story, they say, oh, why didn't you just don't visit her? My mum lived in the same house. I'm not saying I have regrets, but if I'd have done things differently, I wouldn't have moved in with my mum and shared a house. But I was manipulated, and that's my own responsibility. I take responsibility for that, and
that's what you have to do. Like you were saying earlier on, you have to put your boots on, and you have to really step up, don't you?
Yeah. As soon as I stopped playing the victim, basically, but I didn't know that's what I was doing. When you're in it, you can't identify it, can you? You don't know what's going on. It's just like, why do I feel so shit? And that's and what is more confusing is the way, to people on the outside, how wonderful your life looks, and how everything seems so perfect. And I could act a good act, I would keep on running.
You hide it, and you think, also think it's you, and you also think you're in the wrong, and you also think it's your fault, and it isn't. It is not your fault.
No.
And not coming from a place of blame either.
And the spiral gets tighter. The more you're in it, the tighter it gets. So at the beginning, it's like this, and then it goes down and down and down until it's so tight. And you literally have one thought at the end of it. You have one thought: please stop this.
How do I get out?
Stop this. How do I stop this? I just want this to stop. And you can't actually zoom back out anymore and identify what it is you want to stop, because it's just like, everything. I just want it all to stop now.
And you go through, I don't know about you, but you go, and this might resonate for some people, you go through all of the motions of how can I stop myself feeling this way. So you go through the alcohol. I had prescribed drugs. I didn't go down the non-prescribed drugs route. I was too scared, basically. And that would have been that could have been a possibility. You know, I ended up in like a series of abusive relationships as well. So, you know, you draw to you what you're vibrating at the time, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was very lucky. I did have quite a good sort of external support network. I had really good friends. I had a really, really, really understanding husband who understood I was in pain, but didn't understand how to help me, but wanted to.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I tried everything. You know, and this is why I've, you know, you and I both got modality after modality after modality after modality.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until it was actually defined for me that everything we're doing, everything that we're working on, even when you take the prescribed drugs, they're working on your energy. It's actually in a negative way, but they are working on your energy. And they're numbing. They're numbing those emotions that I mentioned before as your guidance system. They're numbing the intuition, and they're definitely numbing your access to that higher self. And there is no blame here, because, you know, hands up, I've got all the t-shirts, all the handbags, and the matching shoes. I can show you them in the wardrobe right now. You know, and you know, to look at both of us here now today, the way we're laughing and we're joking, that, you know, maybe 8 years ago for me was an absolute physical impossibility for me to go out and be seen and to mix with people and connect with new people. I had my network of friends, and they knew that I was in pain, and they knew I was hurting, and they were doing what they could, but I couldn't go to like a dinner party or something where there'd be people I didn't know. So my life got very, very small, and I would only see like one friend at a time, if I did at all. But yet I was still running a very successful business that involved me being in person with people. So finding out energy was like a door opened for me. What was it like for you, Mandy?
It was mind-boggling. It was like what I could, because I'd done NLP. I qualified in NLP over 20 years ago, and that was my first link to actually not being dominated by the bad feelings. But then they started to creep back in, and obviously that was the energetic part, which I didn't understand. So I did Reiki and, like, you know, modality after modality. But when I really got to grips with, you can change a belief in a few seconds. You can let something go that's in your energy system, that is holding you down, that is making you feel like crap. And you can let it go, and it'll never come back. And I think for me as well, it'll never come back, and you can replace it with this new thing. And I'm going, what? Why didn't anyone tell me this sooner?
I know, that's it. I mean, I went through this thing where, there was a lot of recrimination to myself for not figuring it out sooner. How did I let this go on so long? And you know, people, you'll go through this, you know, but it's okay, it's all good. You just got to soothe that. But once you realize, you really do.
It was like I think my jaw was on the floor for about a week.
Yeah. Well, the first energy event I went to, I literally cried the whole weekend. I couldn't speak. I just cried with relief, grief.
It is. You're right. It's a relief.
Yeah. Massive. Just, I can't describe it enough. The words don't exist to describe how different I felt. How I just knew it was like coming home. It was just it wasn't just a panic.
And you feel it in your body as well, don't you? Because you don't realize how you're like holding yourself.
You know?
It is a transformation. It really is.
Yeah. And like I say, the words don't exist to describe that feeling. We're not that clever yet to describe how it feels when you finally realize that you're maybe not come all the way home to yourself, but the path is there, it's in front of you, and it's illuminated. There are no cracks in the pavement. It's like the yellow brick road. It's like paved in gold, and it's like, hallelujah, you know, and you can hear the angel, and it's like, yes, finally. And that's it. You're on the path then, aren't you? You just
and that's why we went to that, and that's why, you know, how we came together was through that energy modality we first qualified in. Not the first qualification, but we had to roughly around the same time. And it's just by knowing that we can help others, because we qualify. You can do the work and you don't have to qualify to help other
No.
people. But for me, it became a mission then. Right, okay, I've got these tools. Now how can I help others have that transformation?
That's it, yeah. Because the qualifying in it is also part of our journey, my journey for sure. Because I realized, I did a lot of the work, and there was a 10-month program that I went through, and it was very intense. But I realized that wasn't enough, that it didn't end there for me. I was all or nothing. All or nothing. No. Yeah. So as you say,
it became non-negotiable, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. So, as you say, you don't have to qualify in these things to remember how to work on your own energy, because it's your energy, and don't let anybody else tell you what your energy is doing and how your energy feels. Yeah, they can guide you and help you to understand your energy, but it's yours and you own it, and nobody else has a right to it. And this is where part work is once you start activating that energy and trusting trusting the energy and trusting the process and trusting yourself, you actually really start to realize what it is you're remembering and what it is you're stepping into and what it is you're reclaiming it's just that power. And people sort of think, oh, power, that's a bit masculine. No, it's not. The goddess effect is about our divine feminine power. And we know that there is, masculine and feminine in everything, but the divine feminine aspect of it all has been suppressed for 200,000 years, people. That's a long time. And, it's the foundation of what Mandy and I are here to do, to undo all of that. And for us women to step up as goddesses, because the truth is, each and every one of us, once we connect into that absolute true soul essence of who we are, we then realize that we are, each and every one of us, a living goddess on this planet.
We've gone through the process, so we've hit bumps in the road, so we've got that experience, and we can hold your hand and we can share our experiences with you. We can reassure you, and that's why we can almost promise a massive transformation in the shortest amount of time possible. That's right for you.
Yeah, and that's it. It's this is your energy. We are just literally the gateway to your energy, the gateway to your discoveries, the gateway to your transformation. And it's not done on our terms, it's done on your terms. It's not done to our agenda, it's done to your agenda. And it's always at the pace that is right for you, and it's always on the path that is right for you. And that's because of what we've been through and what we've shared between ourselves, because we do it on each other. We respect completely your journey, and we respect that it's not my journey or Mandy's journey or whatever. It's your journey, and we have absolutely the utmost respect and joy for you in that.
And I think what's different for us, because we've done it in a sort of prescribed way. We had to follow someone else's system, and we're not knocking that at all, because it's given us so many gifts. But the gift we then bring to you is that you start where you are and you work on the area that's most important to you. We're not going to tell you, do it like this, do it like that. These are the tools. Do the work with these tools to change what is really bothering you right now.
Yeah. And that's the quickest way to actually access the intuition and the emotions and the body biofeed is your way of doing it. Absolutely.
And that's where you'll see the quickest transformation. Then you'll see the biggest difference really quickly, because you're working on what's really bothering you right now.
We are all vibrating at different levels on different topics, and that's fine and perfect. And it's that beautiful diversity of how our vibrations are made up, and some of us are vibrating in flow on this and some of us aren't, and it's the respect for that I think makes the goddess effect so effective. Because it is literally, you can pick it up wherever you are on your journey, whatever's going on for you in your journey right now, you can pick it up and literally run with it. and then
Absolutely.
circle back round and like, okay, done that, what's next? And it gets so exciting to see what's next. And I mean, I'm not knocking therapy, but I'm just saying, when I was in therapy, the sessions would come around and it was like a bittersweet thing. It was like, oh, I get to go and tell my story, but I'm so bored.
You don't constantly living in the stories, keeping the energy of it alive, and it doesn't serve us to do that.
It doesn't. It literally maintains the victimhood, and with the best will in the world, that is not going to help you. It's not. I mean, don't get me wrong. It did help me to realize I needed to find something else, and I very quickly. Yeah, I know. But it did give me kind of insights into my story that I then had to go and transform.
Yeah.
So we are Mandy Morris and Sass Tetzlaff. In case you missed the names earlier on or the spelling of them, between us, we have qualifications in more than 8 energy modalities and are on a mission to awaken and activate the goddess blueprint of every woman on this planet. And we are not putting limits, like people might say, oh my God, that's a lot of people. It's like, yeah, but we're not putting limits on it, because if we can activate the goddess blueprint in one person, she can go out and role model it for somebody else, and then she can talk to somebody else. So even if our connection to every woman on this planet is 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th hand, that is fine by us. It's all good. So having met each other through our energy journey, which you've just heard a little bit about, that was quite a while ago now. But it wasn't until we attended a retreat recently. And we were both there and realized we were sat next to each other. And what it was, I'll actually fill you in on this. We were having our handprints analyzed. And you can't help looking at the person next to you. And it was like, oh, that's interesting. Hers is nothing like mine. And Mandy's looking at mine thinking, oh, that's interesting. Hers is nothing like mine. And we realized that where we overlap, we actually make a perfect whole, don't we, Mandy?
Yeah. I remember saying to you, oh, Sass, you're everything I'm not.
Yeah. And I said, oh, ditto.
You're, and we said it the other way around. So we were like 2 pieces of a jigsaw.
Yeah.
And when we come together, wow, the transformations we can help people.
We realized on that retreat, because we had a little chat with each other, didn't we? And we realized that our diverse energy personalities, like the bits where we complete each other, this meant that we could weave a special kind of magic in collaboration to work deeper and faster than anything else we've tried on our own. And thus we developed and tested the goddess effect. So please, sound of trumpet fanfare and choir of angels right now. Seriously, that's how we feel about it. And how as soon as we started working together, we couldn't believe how quickly it went. Very quantum, didn't it? It went, what is it, stratospheric, very quickly, didn't it?
It did. Yeah.
Anyway, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. So we've explained energy. Now we're going to explain. Remember I said that energy is the what we're working on, and the goddess effect is the how.
When you join us, we will look at areas of your life, and you will notice immediately what is not working and what is working so amazingly well. And you'll have that aha moment, and you'll think, well, how is that working so well? And how is that working in such a crap way? But the thing is, when you've established that, use the energy work that we're going to teach you and apply it to the areas that are not working. And that's when we begin to transform it. And we transform the negative into the positive. So it allows you to get back behind the wheel and steer every area of your life on the path that you want. Make it fun. Your vibration will respond, and everything in your life will start to come together. And it's like sending this ripple effect out. And it doesn't just affect you, it starts to affect how people respond to you as well. And you're no longer in these negative energies. And, holding on to the positive stuff, because it does then unfold into the other areas of your life. And that's what we're here to guide you with.
This is the thing. Once you've established what's out of flow, it's up to you to decide what is it you want instead, this, because this is down to you.
Because you can have what you want.
And this is where we hand the responsibility right back to you. We don't tell you what your life should be like. We don't tell you what you should be doing. We don't say, well, oh, do you want to do it? We might lovingly sort of like slap you up the head now and again and say, have you thought about this? But in a loving way that actually makes you dream bigger, makes you think bigger, makes you expand your energy out.
And make you feel like it's possible as well, because we've been dampened down so much to think we're in a fear society, and we're made to believe that you can't have what you want. And we're here to change that. We want to change that. We want you to realize you can have what you want, and you can dream bigger and bigger and bigger.
We're going to encourage you to have a think about the situation and what you would like to experience, because only you know what's in that little dream box of yours. Only you know what you've been carrying since you were, knee high to a grasshopper. Only you know what you really want to be doing. So when you've had a little think about that, we want you to hold that thought. Okay. We're going to now introduce the 3 parts of the goddess effect. And we have broken it down into 3 parts so that we can explain to you what is actually going on and what you're doing with your energy. So bearing in mind what we've established as our resistances and reversals, our negative energy charges, we're now harnessing our conscious intention, because this is the big part about working with your energy. Once you activate your conscious intention, everything starts to move, because you are the one that's in charge of all this. And it's important to understand that. So firstly, we activate our conscious intention by declaring what we have discovered that needs transforming, and highlighting the fact that we see it on all of our energy levels that can impact our current life experience. And to do this, we say it out loud. So repeat after me. On a core genetic history and soul level, I recognize X, Y, and Z. Insert your negative energy charge of choice here that does not serve me. So you're saying straight off, on all of these levels, on a core level, on a genetic level, because a lot of our energy is, standing in our DNA, history, what has gone on before, what brought you to this, not just in this lifetime, but in previous lifetimes, the history of your family, your culture, your society that you live in. On a soul level, as you all know, we're just souls having a current physical experience. What is going on at the soul level of what's holding you back? What have you brought in from a previous life? What is your soul here to learn? So we recognize whatever shit it is that's hanging around and know that it doesn't serve you. So if you want the background on it, what you're actually doing here is quantum physics. All the subatomic particles are bouncing around in your vibration. That's what creates the vibration. When we say, well, what's vibration? What does it mean? It means that when you get right down to the smallest part of you, and all the boffins thought there was going to be all this stuff in there, they realized that there's virtually nothing down there apart from these little subatomic particles bouncing around saying, tell me what to do, tell me what to do. And this is what you're doing. You're telling them what to do. It's like, hang on a minute, you guys, that stuff doesn't serve me. And I recognize it. And they all sort of stand to attention and go, oh, okay, all right, what we're going to do. So you've primed your energy and it's saying it's ready. Okay, what am I going to do? So then what do we do, Mandy?
We transform it. So you're going to choose what you want instead. So I choose to rapidly neutralize, so it doesn't have a charge. You resolve it. So the lessons that you were meant to learn and keep are kept. They're not let go, so you don't have to repeat them. And then you complete all of these negative energy charges, and some of them might be hidden or somewhere else. So we use the words hidden or otherwise with immediate effect. So it stops now. All of the crap is let go now. And it's going to be replaced with what you want. So we call that ABC. Just insert what you want instead. How do you want to feel? And then your original soul blueprint and everything that goes with it can be reborn into this new version of you.
And this is why we've chosen these words. It is about your blueprint, the design that you came in to be, the bright shiny thing that then got all the stuff dumped on it, and then there's experiences and the stuff that came in from before. When we come into this world, we are so full of possibility and so full of potential that, and especially for us women, just does not get the chance to be expressed. It just doesn't get the chance to be, shining and being there and being accepted and being loved and being heard. That is our blueprint, and we have not experienced that yet. So we get rid of all of the stuff, the negative energy charges, all the ones that you've identified that are standing in your way. Bang, gone.
And then we are going to command our guides and our ancestors, the people that came before us. You now reclaim your power and you realign to it, because you might have been knocked off the path somewhere, and you resolve this across. And this is where the quantum bit comes in. All planes of existence, all times, all dimensions. And if you think about the universe, most of it is space. So there could be stuff hanging around in the spaces. So you're going to transform that bit as well. And all levels of consciousness. So anything that exists has a consciousness. It's the known stuff to us, and it's the unknown stuff to us, because you don't want to leave anything out. And then to top it all off, just in case, and beyond.
Because this is...
So we're just covering all bases there, aren't we?
We're leaving no stone unturned. And the bit about the known and unknown, I like to think of it as, when you're hoovering and you hoover under the sofa, but you don't actually go and look.
Yeah.
But it's gone.
You're just trusting.
Yeah. You're just trusting that the hoover did its job, and the bits that I can see are clean, and the bits that I couldn't see are clean as well, because I know I swept underneath it with the hoover. So consciously harnessing the help of our spirit family activates our connection to the higher realms and amplifies the results. So we're just expanding our team, as you say. There are so many parts to us, and there are so many parts to our energy systems and our energy bodies, and it's not just the physical stuff in this 3D reality that we need to be working with. So when we start to go up into the higher realms, the other dimensions, that they're really getting into the quantum stuff, it doesn't hurt to have your team on board, but they can only come if you ask them. They're there.
Yeah, there's that rule, isn't there?
Yeah, they're dying to help you. And so imagine like a score of angels and ancestors and guides and weird beings like running up, all going, me, I'm here to help you. Pick me. They can't come in to help you unless you invite them. So it's about you taking responsibility again. We can't emphasize this enough, that it's you own your energy, you own how it works, you own how it gets healed and mended and given it a good old valet. So that's the three aspects, if you like, of the goddess effect. But we're aware that it is quite a mouthful and it takes a bit of getting used to, which is why on our courses we guide you through it. But we are aware that there are those in-between moments when you feel something creeping up on you. So we developed a short form of the method. And this is useful when you notice negative thoughts and memories creeping up on you, and you might not have the time to do a full check-in. And it goes like this. I reject and refuse all negative energies related to the fact that I'm stuck in traffic and can't get home in time for tea. Whatever is going on for you, And I choose the path of clarity and smooth roads and beautiful weather with immediate effect. And I'm playing around with you here, but you get the idea. So it's whatever you recognize is coming up. So yeah, if you are stuck in traffic, there's not a lot we can do about the traffic, because that's 3D and that's slow moving energy and it takes a lot to move that. But what you can reject and refuse is the negative energies related to how you feel about the traffic. So the frustration, the anger that might be coming up, the resentment, who are all these people and why aren't they at home and off my road, So this is the energy aspect of it. Remember we spoke about emotion?
Yeah.
This is the energy aspect of it. And by rejecting and refusing the stuff that's going to give you a hernia and a strangulated bowel and IBS, etc., etc. You can refuse them. I reject and refuse that, and I choose
And the thing is, you don't want to arrive home in a bad mood and upset the people at home, do you?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, and we're choosing a very silly example here, but we hope,
Yeah.
I'm quite sure anybody watching this video right now is going, oh yes, and inserting their own scenario in this. And you choose the path of calm and peace and happiness and gratitude. Be grateful you've got a car. Be grateful you can drive a car. Be grateful you live in a country where, women are allowed to drive cars. There are a lot of countries out there where women aren't allowed to drive cars, so it is a reframe and it is a shift. And you can say this one over and over and over again, while you're sat in the traffic jam, to soothe those negative energies and just calm them back down. So as before, XYZ is the negative energy you've noticed, and ABC is the alternative energy you're transforming the negative energy into. So hopefully that gives you the clue as to how powerful you are in creating an effect on your emotions and your energy in your life. So in summary,
yes, everything is energy. And if you can learn to be in control of your energy, you can transform it into anything you desire, as long as you learn to identify and cleanse the negative energies. And it's not one and done either. It is a process. It is a lifestyle. It is a way of being.
Yes.
Because you can't very often stop what's going on around you and outside of you, but you can transform what's going on the inside. So I will say that it's not a one and done.
No.
And we are the ones that do the work. It's our job, our responsibility. You come out like Sass and I did. We came out of that victim mode. We took the responsibility. It's no one else's. It is your responsibility. And energy work is good, but using a powerful method such as the Goddess Effect, it goes deeper, it goes faster. And once you learn it, you can use it. Like we were saying, those different areas of life, you can use it on anything.
We've forgotten how to do this. We're actually not teaching you anything new that you don't already know. You all know this. You've just forgotten. Because working on our energy used to be something that we as humans did, like breathing in and out, putting one foot in front of the other, eating, sleeping, running about and having fun. Working on our energy was just part of our everyday, and we thought nothing about it. And over the years, especially in the last 200,000 years, it's been knocked out of us. We've become less in touch with the planet we live on, the things around us that are affecting us and impacting us, and the elements and the nature. And the tree huggers have got it right. I'm sorry, but they do. You laughed at them in the 70s, but who's laughing now? Everybody's
in addition to that as well, Sass, it's like the last 200,000 years or more, probably we've become into this fear state.
Yes.
And like I say, we've become disconnected, but the power is ours to change that now.
Yeah, and that's it. We've been convinced that we don't have the power. We've had all of our power taken away, or we've
all this negative stuff going on around us, and our monkey mind is going round and round. And if you're constantly in your head, you are not connected to the earth and the energy of the earth. You've become disconnected.
And that is it, isn't it? So thank you for listening to us, our little presentation. On behalf of your future self, we thank you for taking the time to remember how to work, check in with your energy and make the move towards a brighter future. We are Mandy Morris and Sass Tetzlaff, co-creatrixes of The Goddess Effect. Find us at www.thegoddesseffect.vip.
Because you are.
Yeah. And this is what we want to get across to you. You are so much more than the limitations that have been put on you, either, by yourself because you thought that was the thing to do, or your family around you, your school, your society, your culture. You are so much more than that. but you get to decide it, and that's the exciting thing, isn't it, Mandy? It's on your terms, absolutely on your terms. There is nobody, and one of my favorite sayings, and you can quote me on this, I don't mind, you can steal it. We need neither policy nor permission to be fabulous. Just let that sink in. We don't need the government to tell us what we can and can't do, and we don't need anybody else's permission from the other members of our family who are so good at telling us how we should be behaving and what we should have, would have, could have been doing. Nah, not available for any of that anymore. Doesn't mean that I'm doing anything vastly different from what I did before, but I'm doing it with a completely different energy. And in doing so, I, for one, and I know Mandy would agree with me, I am so much more fulfilled, satisfied, confident, loving life. I mean, all the cliches, living my best life, and it's just getting better.
Connected.
And on all this rubbish that we see in the news about whatever, take your pick, because it's been like that since I was a kid. It's not, that stuff out there is nothing new. Whatever you can see on the news is on a loop, and it's been like that since as far back as I can remember. And I'm quite sure that before we had TV, it was in the broadsheets, and then it was the town crier. Yay, oh yay, what a load of misery. Here we go. Life is,
and that's it. That's like how they keep us in our little boxes and keep us in control. And it's time to break out of your box.
Yes. So, thank you, Mandy. Thank you, listeners.
Thank you, Saz.
And we look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.